99 right here on stage for you. I am Neon Gray. With me is Rex Raoul. Let's talk a little about where the standings are right now. I think you've got something prepped for.
I do. This is the final of the qualifier races for the Appleseed event. So far, we've had 3 other ones. Eisentiyama, Scratch Dragon, Simbu, Rivers McCown, Flurry 14, and Penguinator have all finished in the top 2 of their respective races. And then we have 4 players who are currently on the bubble, and those are Couch 23, Moonblaze Wolf, EMO, and Dark Kobold, who, if everything stays the same with Z-scores, which, let's be real, they probably won't, would be the 4 who would qualify based on that. Interestingly enough, all of those Z-scores come from race 1. So none of the people who finished 3rd or worse in race 2 or 3 made that Z-score buffer. So it's really interesting that all of the best Z-scores so far have come from the first race. So we'll see what happens tonight. We'll definitely get 2 people who qualify as the winners. If one of those people who are on the bubble should get 1st or 2nd, they'll automatically be in, and that would make it so the next couple people on this would be BG, Rich, 419, and Zilch. And of course, they'd have to have a lot of things fall their way in order to qualify at this point, but it looks like we're on the way, right, Neil?
Yes, they are off. As we know, everybody starts with Fu in this event. And his partner today is Yang. We're getting the Legend Swords. It's not going to be quite like the very first race that we had on the first qualifier, where we went straight to the crystal. So we're not quite as jitty as that. Now, for those who might not be familiar, oh yes, no, go ahead.
Well, I'd say if Edward in his bed has the crystal, then we still could be in for a super fast seed, but so far so good.
Yeah, it's possible, but right now we haven't repeated our first qualifier in this.
No, with that crystal opener, no.
Yes. Really promising opening shop, though. We've got 2 of the hit point based items appearing there, and Cure 3s. You really want elixirs, but that will do.
Yeah, that's kind of like an emergency thing to use a Cure 3 instead of an elixir, but elixirs do a lot more when you've got over, 5,000 HP.
Yeah, it's very good at the start before we get our apples, though.
Interestingly enough, 3 of the races are already trying to do battle against that Atlion in the inn, finding Baigen behind there, whereas Tirasu is heading straight for Troya to see what item Bedward has in the bed.
Yeah, they're both pretty valid strats. I know when I was in the qualifier, when I was trying to play, I was hitting up Baron in first. And, ooh, that's an Earth Crystal from Edward. We might have a Wild Goose Chase on hand here, and a Tower Key from the Baron Inn. So okay. We're going to have some work on our hands from these players.
Yeah, still that opens up the Tower of Zod as a potential key item location, but there's a lot of other key item locations that are open right at the beginning of the game, and any one of them could be the magic ticket that'll take you where you need to go and get that crystal to get to Zeramis. So we're going to see if we've already got some divergence. We'll see where the other 3 runners decide to go after this as well.
Yes. Now, of course, just having the crystal alone isn't going to help. We will still need to find which shop has the pass, which we do not have located. Yes, we have. It is in Agart, along with Starveiled, which will be, again, very useful depending on how this works out.
Right, because we might see people using a combination of tactics against Zeramis. I think the most common is to use kamikazes for most of the fight, and then reflect a couple nukes, and having that Starveil access to cast that wall spell right when you want to cast it is very useful.
Yeah, the kamikazes are absolutely the best, the most efficient way of handling that fight when you've got hit point totals at your quad 9s. We'll see if the game yields them. Otherwise, we do have the alternate strategy available, which is to use the hit point-based attack items as well.
Yeah, the lit bolts and fire bombs that were found in Barren Town can also get the job done. They do about half as much damage as the kamikazes do, and they also trigger a counter nuke from Zero Miss every time you use them. So it's a much longer, drawn-out fight when you use that strategy, but it will do the job.
Yeah, like. That is a thing here. It is really dependent on what the item shops cough up. If kamikazes are on the moon, we're not going to be able to use them.
So Marinoko is now at the Ogopogo fight at the bottom of the Antlion Cave. We're going to see another key item location here.
And that is the Darkness Crystal.
Oh, maybe if there are kamikazes on the moon, it will be useful. We'll see.
Yeah, honestly, right now I find that just a big annoyance, because there are 2 characters in Dissidia. It's helpful to have those extra bodies.
Yeah, I agree. I think which characters you have is pretty irrelevant to these Appleseeds. Sometimes it's nice to have someone like Atella who's really slow that you can put in the middle as an anchor. Sometimes it's nice to have an Edge who you can put on the outside to be really fast and do a lot of things. But those are like really kind of edge cases. Really, you'll take whoever you get and it'll work.
Yeah. Oh, and there's silver apples. That's really annoying. That takes a lot longer to go through.
Yeah, I mean, we see Mirinoko buying those silver apples, hoping to not have to use them by finding the golden apples, which will apple up, getting your HP up twice as fast somewhere later.
Yeah, I mean, you take what you can get, but silver apples take a lot longer. I sat through. It legitimately, if you're gonna use silver apples to do your whole party, it's gonna take about 10 minutes.
All right, so now we've got the defense of Kabul complete. So this is going to be another key item location.
And it's at the Sand Ruby.
Yeah, with free characters available, there's no necessary reason to go to Kaipo just to get a character, but we'll see if anyone decides to do it, try to upgrade one of their characters.
Yeah, but, it really doesn't matter. I would be shocked if we saw people doing anything other than just taking the first character they get. And Yarinoko is heading into Zot, I think. Oh no, hasn't been to Edward yet. Maybe they'll go to Zot next.
Tarasu is going through the Darkness Crystal cutscene to get the big whale. We'll see if he decides to go to the moon or if he just wants to go back into Mysidia and get those characters as well. Because I don't believe anyone is headed to Mysidia for the characters at this point.
Yes, nobody's done that yet.
Tarasu goes back into Mysidia to do some shopping, does find those golden apples.
And there is our third hit point item as well, so we do have the gold apples right there.
Yes, so we don't need to be wading through all the silver apple things. OTP lawyer using some Soma drops to increase Fusia's max MP, which can be a real nice little time saver overall, because you don't have to constantly be using the elixirs to refill his MP during the final fight if he's got a little bit more to start with.
Yeah, like that's a nice to have. It's not certainly not necessary, but it's a convenience.
But we still don't have access to the underground, and we definitely don't have a crystal yet.
No, and we are running out of places here. We do still have Zot to check in, and nobody's been to Ordeals yet. Nobody wants to go to Ordeals on Appleseed, but we might have to.
Yeah, we've got a couple of places that have multiple bosses and cutscenes to deal with. For these Appleseeds, previously they've been just super fast. You don't have to worry about almost anything in order to get to Zero Miss. Now we've got some roadblocks. They might be, maybe not roadblocks, maybe just like speed bumps would be a more accurate term.
And to answer the question by this person that I've never heard of before, someone named Rever's Moopcow, I don't know what these non-item shops are. If they were armor shops, I might be seeing a check for adamant armor. Otherwise, I don't see a good reason to check the weapon shops here.
Well, if you're lucky and find like a Stardust Rod that can really boost Fusia's black magic power, then the nukes that you reflect onto Zero Miss will do more damage and might be able to defeat Zero Miss a turn or two faster.
Yeah,
But
yeah, like for some of these shops that are further away, it's not really a good idea. But,
I kind of like the one in Fabul where it's both the armor and weapon together, so that you can check for both, either an adamant armor or a Stardust Rod at once, and you're not just prioritizing one or the other.
Yeah, like, but that's a nice shop, and it's not too far away either.
Right, it's not like a Gart where you've got to go all the way up into the corner and you might get blocked by people too.
Yeah, they need better urban planning in Agar.
So we do see OTP Lawyer now up at the top of Mount Ordeals, finding Odin in the first boss spot. Shouldn't be too tough. All these early bosses with a fully powered Fusia are pretty trivial. If it's one enemy, he can nuke them. If there's multiple enemies, he can quake them. Basically, he's just going to wipe the floor with anybody we fight. That's why we haven't really been talking about strategy in these fights.
Yeah, the strategy here is to end the fight.
Yeah, and nuke and quake are going to be your best, fastest options to do that.
Yeah, so we are seeing everybody converge on Ordeals rather than now we do see Tirasu instead of Ordeals going up to Zot, I think.
Yeah, and that's, one of these decisions is going to be right and one of them is not going to be right. And that could be the difference between getting like one of the top finishes of the race and maybe being out of that potential Z-score bubble.
Yeah, like right now, it's anyone's game. Like, the first person to guess right is gonna get this. And Yarinoko has decided to start in on the apples, probably just waiting for the full party to have done that. Oh, there's a magma key on Ordeal.
So that is potentially very huge for those who have chosen the Ordeals route, but in the case that Tarasu finds the crystal up here at the top of the Tower of Zot, then this could be a huge wild goose chase that anyone who goes to Ordeals has.
Yeah, like, we do not know yet if that is a good magma key or a bad magma key.
Yeah, it could be a very bad magma key depending on what lies for us up here at the top of the Tower of Zot.
Yeah, so Tirasu's taking a gamble on this. We don't know yet if that is gonna pay off.
You can see Kanazo here again. A nuke should be able to take care of him. Okay, maybe a nuke or two. Now we're getting into a place where bosses have a little bit more HP. This Magus Sister spot, it's the combined HP of all three of the Magus Sisters, so it's a little bit higher than the boss's amount or deals and such. So.
Yeah, that's 9k to burn through, so 2 nukes will do it, not just one.
And yes, those going through with those golden apples, Mirinoko is going for looks like the full 9999 for everybody except for Fusiya. Oh no, everybody except for Sid, it looks like. Sid being kept at about 4,500 HP. And we see the Mega Sisters are at the top of the Tower of Zot, but in that Golbez spot, so you won't be fighting the Mega Sisters until the second fight in the Dwarf Castle. We find Kane, who at this point is probably not going to be used, but we'll see. And another version of Sid up here at the top of the tower.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I love me some Kane, but this is an event where you take the first 5 you get.
Well, Tarasu did swap out Kane for Rydia. If he gains some levels, if you gain a couple levels, then Kane will gain a few more HP based on levels than Rydia will, so that might save an apple or two. It's a small optimization there.
Yeah, so that's nice to see. Good old Kane.
Bahamut in the underground now racing to the bottom of the land of summoned monsters. There is a free key item in the vanilla rat tail chest. Again, this could be, as with any key item spots, it could be the one that we're looking for.
Yeah, and the other thing too is, you want to check that free spot there early because it could be the pin, which opens up another key item check as well.
Yeah, we already saw the tower key, but the pan is very similar in that it just allows you to do more than one check at one time.
That's the pink tail, though. That is not very helpful.
Yeah, if you're going into the Adamant Grotto to get your rat tail cashed in anyways, then you might as well take the free Adamant armor for it. But this isn't the sort of seed where, or the kind of seed where Adamant armors are the hugest boon that you'll go out of your way and take a minute detour in order to get that it might be another seed.
Yeah, and it looks like Zot did not pay off. That was the Adamant, so... Sorry, Tower Zot, you were just a terrible time sink.
Yeah, and it's likely that even though we're only seeing 4 racers, there are a bunch of other people running tonight, and I'd be willing to bet that Tarasu is not the only person who made that gamble at the Tower of Zot.
Yeah, it's a very compelling check. I know whenever I have that Earth Crystal, it's just staring at me going, Zot, Zot, Zot. But unfortunately, it's a dead end here.
Yeah, and in other flag sets, that an early Earth Crystal is a lot more of a boon because you've got the 2 characters up there that could be useful. You get access to another treasure room at the bottom of Troya that could have a lot of good stuff, along with that key item. So it's a lot more of a nuisance here with a long time and 2 bosses in a cutscene to get that key item. But it just makes you... It just goes to show how different an Appleseed is from a lot of the other seeds that you have.
Yeah, a lot of the common wisdom in every other flag set really just goes out the window.
And now we see Bahamut taking time to silver apple up, at least to some level, some of his characters, get a little bit of an HP buff before doing some bosses, it looks like.
Yeah, and I mean, that's not a bad intermediate strategy.
Like, we know it's not the super jet seeds that we've seen in the earlier race weekend. So now we're going to see what happens when you've got to go to a couple more places, see a couple more bosses, and we'll likely see Bahamut here going into the Dwarf Castle. We know that the second boss here is going to be the Mega Sisters, but Bahamut doesn't know that because he hasn't gone up to the Tower of Zot yet. It looks like we have the elements in that first spot there as well.
Yeah, like this is one of the best scenes you can see. Just look at all four of them there.
Yeah, that is a real treat to see all four of them dance.
Yeah. And
looks like we have found kamikazes in the Tomra item shop. A very important item, as we mentioned. It makes the Zeramis fight a lot faster than using the lit bolts and fire bombs as the other HP-based item to deal damage in the Zeramis fight.
Yeah, crystal rings were found in their armor shop as well, which can be another good reason to actually hit up a shop that isn't an item shop.
Yeah, but, and I saw Bahamut had a stack of 99 Zeus gauntlets as well found somewhere. Big strength boost if you're going to fight a bunch of bosses and you got people who can attack. A Zeus gauntlet is one of the best things that you can get for them.
Yeah, not really worth the purchase, I think, on this, but in the intermediate phases when you might actually use the fight command, it can be handy.
Yeah, it's one of these where if you're gambling on it being a much longer seed and you have to fight more bosses and more HP value bosses, it pays off more as the seed goes on. The sooner you find that crystal, the less it's going to pay off.
Yeah, but we are still searching for this crystal, and no finishes in the SRL either, so wherever it is, we don't know yet.
Yeah, it's hidden somewhere, and that's nice. We get to see a little bit more of this game than we have. Like here, we're at 20 minutes. Like this is like taking forever tonight.
Yeah, like we've had 3 qualifiers for this so far. We've had, but I think still under an hour total of actual broadcasted seeds. Oh, and there is the pad. Hidden in the sealed cave, accessible by the warp glitch.
Yeah, one of the other things on these Appleseeds is enabling the glitches, such as the warp glitch, which does give you an access to the sealed cave without needing the Luca key. So the Luca key becomes kind of garbage in this.
Yeah, and it's a good thing that there was something to follow up on in that chain, because Dwarf Castle just gave a hook. We don't have a rat tail yet, so right now that's not very useful.
Yeah, exactly. We did find that pink tail, so if you desperately wanted adamant armor, but I think both of us agree right now that it's probably not worth it just for the adamant armor to go through the whole rigmarole to get that hovercraft and then fly all the way over to the adamant grotto just for that.
Yeah, like, adamant armor it's very nice to have. Really, there are 2 stats that matter on an Appleseed. That is hit points and agility, and adamant certainly gives you a lot of agility. But,
yeah, there are some slight other, like a little bit of magic defense can help a little bit with healing. A little bit of wisdom can help with damage by nukes, but by and large, you're right. The HP and the agility are going to be the main factors.
Yeah, so we will see what happens here. Because, yep, the check, Bahamut is heading straight to Fabul after hitting Yang on the head with that pan.
Yeah, and so this is what we're talking about, the double check. Instead of having to go here twice to check for both of the key items by finding the pan earlier before heading down to Sylph Cave, now we get to Fabul and get both key items. And let's see what we get.
Well, that's a rat tail, so that hook does suddenly become of use. But what's the pan give us? It's the crystal!
Oh, there we are.
Yes, Sheila had the good 2 seeds in a row.
Yeah, Sheila is somebody who likes to hold crystals. That's what I found out.
Yeah. Well, she does have, she's got 2 chances out of 17, which is more than most. So, here we go.
Yeah, so Bahamut buying the rest of those silver apples while in town to finish getting this HP up for the last fight, and is probably going to be heading over towards Toria, and yes, there he goes.
Oh, stopping off to pick up a fresh character. I think getting a new anchor, hopefully.
Or might be hoping to find another Fus.
That's an Edge who is not very good as a fresh anchor.
No, but looks like he wants Edge anyway.
Getting rid of Teleforum, with silver apples, having that higher starting hit points is not bad.
And I will say, we do have a first place finisher in the race. Zilch finished at first place at a time of 24 minutes and 26 seconds. So GG's to Zilch, who will be one of the runners at the final table.
Yeah, so GG to you, Zilch. And we should start seeing these finishes coming quickly because that dwarf check is a pretty solid end combat early play once getting underground.
Yeah, especially with the warp glitch enabled, checking the dwarf castle earlier becomes a much bigger priority.
Yeah, that's really what turns into something you want and need to do, rather than something that is a lengthy cutscene-filled annoyance.
Taratsu just picked up his pan. It looks like Mirinoko is going up to talk to Sheila. Well, Bahamut apples up before the final.
Yeah, so let's talk a little about what's coming up for this fight, because again, it's a very different sort of strategy.
Yeah, so as long as if it depends on what people have found. If they went to Tonra and found those kamikazes, then they're going to be able to use the kamikazes in the Zeramus fight to blow up the character and deal as much damage to the character as to Zeramus as the character has HP. Ideally, that's 9999. So that's going to do a lot of damage each time you do it. You'll see them do this a bunch of times, and then oftentimes they'll change and throw either a wall spell or a star veil up and start reflecting nukes from Fusia up against that to deal a bunch more damage. This is to avoid a HP refill that Zeramus does halfway through the battle.
Yeah, like that is the trick here. I believe the count is that 4 kamikazes and then switching over to the nukes is the correct amount. Somebody who's much better at this will probably correct me in chat. So that is the ideal. That's going to be your fastest way of getting through that fight. But
yeah,
looks like we're not going to full on Bahamut's side, which I don't blame him, given that he is using silver.
Yeah, so we might see an alternate strategy, or he might be finishing up the appling now.
Yeah, I'm seeing him rearrange his inventory to pull up fire bombs and star veils. So looks like we're going to be reflecting some counter nukes there.
It looks like he also found Excaliburs, and he picked up that edge, so he might be planning on darting Excaliburs through a lot of the fight as well. So looks like it's going to be a different strategy that we see from Bahamut, whereas Morinoko's got a bunch of characters at the 9999 for that kamikaze strategy. So let's see what we get, and we figure out whose butt we're going to kick tonight.
Yes, well, everybody else does get their crystal. Let's see. Oh, that is Douse from, that spreads from Lufia too. Still no second place finisher yet.
Yeah, we'll see if Mirai or Bahamut can take that. And we see immediately Mirai using that kamikaze right away. It's nice because it does a lot of damage, does not trigger the nuke counter, so it just is a very efficient way of dealing a bunch of damage at once.
Yes, and we do have our second place finisher now. Dusty Griff has come in second at an official SRL time of 29 minutes and 41 seconds. So this has surprisingly been our slowest Appleseed yet.
Yeah, GG's to Dusty, and but people are still going to be fighting for those Z scores. That's going to be based on how well the average finisher in this one does, and how good you're doing against them. So we're going to see, like, Mirai and Bahamut are definitely still in it.
Yeah, like, this is anyone's game as yet. And the fact that we are seeing we're not seeing that cluster of finishes yet does mean that it will happen to those scores.
Yeah, and Zilch was one of those runners who was right on the bubble of the Z scores going into this race, so he's got to feel great being guaranteed in now.
Yeah, like, that is huge, because, you know, the times are so tight on this. Getting in first relative to being somewhere in that nebulous mass of Z scores, that's a huge difference.
Yeah, we do have a third place finisher. Eternal Newbie finished third place, a time of 31 minutes flat.
Yeah, very nice. GG to you.
So yeah, it looks like a combination of reflected nukes and darts from Bahamut. It makes for a different strategy, but you don't need to spend as much time appling up to do a strategy like this.
Yeah, and the other thing too is, you know, maybe he does have the kamikazes, but you know, maybe if you're not feeling as confident using them, because, you know, it is a strategy that does involve, like, killing off pretty much all your party, you do not need to worry so much with that. And oh yeah, we've got more finishers now. We've got Nirm in fourth place at 31 minutes and 53 seconds, JDP at 32:01, and GG to our first on-stream runner to finish, Miare no Ko at 32:04, and Group Hands immediately behind at 32:20. Let's see if we can get Miare no Ko in here right away.
Yeah, and we see the interesting finish. One of the unusual things about using a kamikaze to end the fight is there is no big flash, and the boss doesn't just slowly fade away at the end. It's just it treats the boss like a normal enemy, unusual.
Yeah, and we did not see it at this point just because the audio has been on Bahamut, but you'll also notice, if we see later on, that the boss, the Zerobus battle music keeps going too.
And we do have Mirai no Ko here. GG's on your finish tonight.
Thank you. I was not expecting to do that well, but...
So how do you feel about the seed overall?
This was definitely more of a typical Appleseed where we actually had to go look for stuff.
Not everything given to you right at the beginning, huh?
Right.
So there were a few chains that you decided not to follow up on correctly as it was. Were those was that Earth Crystal or a Tower Key nagging at you, Eddie?
Definitely. I mean, it's just I had to make a choice. What did I want to chase? What do I want to gamble on? I gambled on Sheila, and she had the goods.
Yeah, so, you know what? Trusting Sheila, that pays off a lot of the time. And weirdly, so did trusting Ordeals today.
Yeah, it was between either Ordeals or Earth Crystal. I decided Ordeals, and there was my underground.
Yeah, so a very good call there. And very nice clean fight at the end too.
Probably my cleanest Appleseed fight yet.
Well, it was worthy of a nice finish tonight, that's for sure.
Now I'm just gonna look over this later and think, why was I fidgeting so much and going play?
That's always how it is. You're always gonna find the things you can improve on, and this flag set is so tight. You know, if you breathe funny, you'll find something to improve on.
Definitely. I mean, I'm definitely not the best at menus, so that's another big improvement I can make.
Oh yeah, menus are so hard.
Luckily, this sort of flag doesn't make inventory management usually as difficult as it is in some seeds, but menuing is still one of these. Oh man, it's one of the ways that you can really improve your game is by getting good at menuing.
Yeah, and this
Absolutely.
Yeah, and this one, you know, you do spend a lot of time in the menu. It's so good. Good for that.
Well, do you have any other thoughts on your race tonight or the event that you've been playing?
Sorry. You were gonna say something?
No, you were gonna say something.
Just like to congratulate our 1 and 2 finishers for making the final table.
Yeah, absolutely. This has been a really exciting event, a really exciting race. All 4 races this weekend were good. I'm happy to have been here for one you get a little bit more meat on the bones, and I'm glad that you were able to join us. And thank you very much for letting your race be streamed so that everybody watching could watch it.
No problem.
All right.
Everybody else still in the fight. Let's take a second here, actually, because we haven't had the chance yet to also shout out our tracker, having to do the most work of any of these Appleseeds yet. Zyra doing a great job on the tracking.
Yes, and our restreamer tonight is Smapety, and this is actually his first time restreaming, and he's doing a wonderful job as well.
Yeah, so congratulate everybody for doing a great job of everything, be it playing or helping out. And give them all a follow too.
It is really fun seeing all 3 of our other racers here in that final Zero Miss fight. So it's going to be really exciting to see who gets it next.
Yeah, we can see them go right away. OPT Lawyer is doing a resurrected kamikaze strat, which, you know, that will also do it too. It does take quite a bit longer because you're having to wait to get everybody back up on their feet.
And we do see the Meteo phase on Bahamut's screen, so that means we know that Zeramus is almost down.
Yep, and there we go. Bahamut is done at 38:44. GG, Bahamut.
Yeah, GG is an 18th place finish tonight.
And 18th out of... I showed up too late in the chat to see out of how many, but there's a lot of people in this race. I think somewhere in the 40s. So we're still in the, yeah, we're still just edging out of the top half of finishes here. So everybody is still doing great place-wise. I think that's Bahamut right now. GG.
Hello, thank you. Just gonna change my sound here a little bit so I can hear you. How are you?
We're doing great, and great seeing that. I think our first video phase of the qualifier, at least that I know about. And I suppose OPT goes into it now. GG to you. And
Thank you very much. Yeah, I was intending to do the HP skip, but I lost track of counting, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna reflect into XCals, and just had to go through with it.
Yeah, notice that you didn't fully apple up your party. So were you planning on doing a new Excalibur strategy for basically going into it?
That was my plan, yeah, because I thought that, because it takes, since I couldn't find the better apples, I just found the AG apples, and I thought, because that takes so long to beef everyone up to 10k. I had kamikazes. I know an easy strat is 4 kamikazes and then reflect, which I've done a couple times. I thought, well, maybe I can save the time by not doing as many apples, because I've noticed people do that and they'll be able to pull it off. And for how long the fight took, I'm thinking back, maybe I should have done the AG apples and just done that instead.
Well, I mean, if you had not missed that reef, as you said, like you lost count at some point. If you hadn't, then maybe you would have finished quite a bit faster too. So.
Really? Oh man.
yeah, like you were first into the fight on our restreams. So.
Yeah.
Well, I just need to practice that counting better, because I've only actually just started doing that like literally like a few days ago. So I'm kind of new to that strat still.
Well,
yeah,
everything's a learning process.
Yeah.
So what did you think about the seed overall?
Interesting, because I have a question for you. Did anyone go into Mysidia? Was there the better apples there?
Yes, that is exactly where the gold apples are.
Darn it! I'm sorry for yelling. Because I got, I went to because I got Darkness Crystal from, I think it was Antline Cave, and like, oh no, now I shouldn't go to Mysidia, because that's like a good minute, and like I shouldn't go there unless I absolutely have to, because of that sequence. And thinking back, I wish I had gone to Mysidia first, just for that possibility, and like,
Yeah, like, because if it pays off, it does absolutely save the time.
Oh yeah, thinking back, yeah. Thinking back, maybe I should have. Just then, I would have been able. If I had the AU apples, I probably would have done the kamikaze thing.
Well, it's one of those things where it's like, would the time that you save by doing that then enough to overcome the time of that cutscene that you have to sit through?
Exactly.
Plus, like, again, we're talking about like you were trying to skip the refill already. Like, the strategy that you went through might have been a better one too. I don't know right now. So
yeah, like if the gold apples hadn't been there, it just would have been a waste. So for having just the silvers, I think that's fine.
Yeah, and it's hard to use those results based reasons for basing whether something is the right or wrong decision. You don't have the right information.
Also, if I hadn't found an edge, I might have also appled up to 10k, because I thought, oh, I've got Excaliburs and I found an edge. Yes. Okay, I don't have to apple up everybody.
And I believe we have OPT Lawyer here too.
Hello.
OPT, how are you doing tonight?
I screwed that fight up so badly.
Oh, hey,
But I'm fine otherwise.
You see, I saw that you did go through to Meteor there, so
Yeah, so I screwed up the reflex strats and didn't do enough damage with those. And I lost track because I kept nuking Sid instead of actually bouncing it off him. So I screwed up the reflex strats and didn't do enough damage with those. One time I'd forgotten I actually hadn't put a wall. I lost track because I kept nuking Sid instead of actually bouncing it off him. And wiped the wall off after
I think that happens.
Well, one time I'd forgotten I actually hadn't put a wall on him, and the other two times Z was just a jerk and wiped the wall off him after I cast through his regen, and I didn't do enough damage, and then I had to go through the rest of it again. But it's fun. I find these seeds fun.
Oh, me too. I've been liking the Appleseeds. I know a lot of people don't like them, but it's a different strat. There's still lots of different ways to do it, depending on what items you find, what people you find. I think there's some enjoyment there.
Absolutely.
I believe we also have Tirasu here. Tirasu, GG's on your finish tonight too, if you're here.
Oh, I'm here. GG.
There you are. Okay, great.
Yay.
I thought I saw you in there.
GG, everyone.
So how do you feel tonight about the race?
My goal is to not come in last, so I'm actually pretty happy with how I did, minus some movement errors.
Well, and I will say you are the only one of our featured runners who made that gamble up to the Tower of Zot. And so, we were all saying, if that turns out to be the crystal, then you've got a huge edge on everybody else who's in our featured streamer. Now, it didn't happen to work out that way, but we wouldn't know at the time.
Right place, the wrong seed.
Isn't that kind of the way these, especially these seeds go, right? It's like, if you're given a fork, you gotta choose one and kind of pray.
I hate doing mount ordeals. It's so much time, and I was just like, if it's in Tower of Zod, I probably have a good lead. If it's out in mount ordeals, I am probably screwed.
I agree. That's the gamble that you gotta make.
Yeah.
As long as you commit to it. If you're wishy-washy, then that'll eat you up. But if you commit, then you're either gonna win or you're gonna lose in a blaze of glory, right?
Right. So,
Absolutely.
what is it with Yang's wife having the crystal? I know, right?
She's just so helpful.
It's like 3 seeds for me today in a row.
Yeah, well, she likes shiny things, I think.
Apparently.
Yeah, I mean, Yang gets her jewelry just when he, he's always falling asleep in caves, and she gets upset, so, he has to make it up to her somehow.
Right.
All right. Any of you have any final thoughts on this seed or this weekend's worth of Appleseed?
It was a very fun time. Looking forward to the final table. Once again, congratulations to Dusty and Zilch for making it.
Yeah, this has been
Congrats
fun.
to them.
Absolutely. Yeah, this whole World Series concept is awesome. As somebody who used to really get into poker and whatnot, so no, this whole thing's really fun, and I'm just I'm happy that I even stepped out of my own little shell and decided to actually join one of these things, because I don't normally do this. So it's been fun. I'm actually looking forward to next weekend with the Giant Percent.
Yeah, looking forward to seeing you again, because, it's a lot of fun.
Absolutely. It's not one of my best events, but I'll be there playing anyway.
Yep, I'm looking forward to the Giant Percent as well. Appleseed it's kind of boring to me.
Yeah, either you're really good at Appleseed, or you're just kind of, it's an Appleseed.
I just want to say thank you so much for letting me restream, and thanks for the commentators, Neon and Rex. You guys did great. Good GGs to everybody and the winners, and I've enjoyed Appleseeds too, and I'm looking forward to the next one. I'm going to hopefully do all of them, so I'm looking forward to it.
All right. Well, thank you to all of you for letting us watch your stream tonight, letting us watch your race, and GG's on all of your finish.
Yeah, thanks for the race stream also. Yeah, that's just awesome. I like watching it back with commentary so I can find out where I screwed up and, get some cool insight. So thank you guys so very much.
Oh,
You're welcome.
hopefully we could offer that to you.
Yes, thank you. I'll definitely be watching it.
Same here.
Yeah, same
GG.
here. The last 2 times I got restreamed, there were technical errors out the wazoo, so
Well,
definitely going to be watching back, seeing where I screwed it up.
I'm glad I got my audio to work this time because this is my second time being restreamed. My first one was a couple weeks ago, and I didn't even know my sound wasn't coming through. I found out why later, and it's like, all right, my audio came through correctly this time, right?
yeah, everything sounds good for me.
Ah, good, Max.
Yep.
I'm glad that worked this time.
All right. So once again, thank you to Terasu, OPT Lawyer, Mary Noko, and Bahamut X99. Give these runners a follow if you haven't yet. Watch them run some Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise. It's great. Also want to say thank you to everybody at the Free Enterprise channel for letting us do this event and letting us restream it tonight. These restreams of the prelims are not guaranteed, so it's really nice that we were able to get this out for everybody tonight. And I want to once again give thanks to Zyrak as our tracker tonight, and SmapeD for doing the restream, and my partner Neon Gray. Neon, did you have any final thoughts before we go tonight?
Not really. We've got a great team here, and again, a great community all coming together to make sure that we can get these restreamed for you all. Looks like we are going to be heading over to the RPG Valkyries after. They are currently doing a fantastic marathon RPGs we love. I believe we are about to go into some more Free Enterprise for you. They are just finishing up with Final Fantasy VI right now. And I believe we've got a 2v2 coming up for you, so stay tuned there with the Valks.
Yeah, 2v2 over at the Valkyries. So thank you everybody for watching, and hope you have a great night.